Now, the biggest thing that blew my mind last week was Jey Uso lost the heavyweight championship for the world.
That blew your mind.
So I'm not booing Gunther. I'm booing what we're getting. Allegedly, like this was homage is
your boy.
He allegedly he's like fulfilling a promise made by Vince. So salute to homage for being honorable. That's the issue. So I'm going to Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca. Dave LaGreca lost his mind on Busted It Open. So right now I'm going to play a clip of Bully Ray discussing his thoughts on the Goldberg Gunther heavyweight championship of the world match at Saturday night's main event.
Quite apropos for what we're dealing with here. You know how certain politicians, and I am not talking about presidents, senators, assemblymen, women, blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking about politicians in general. You know how certain politicians get voted into office and they consistently do a bad job, but yet every voting cycle that comes up, the people continue to vote this politician back into office?
Yes, I think there's many examples of that.
Correct. That's what's going on here. Until the WWE Universe decides that they hate this and walk away from the product and stop investing their time and money in the product. And I am not suggesting that fans stop investing time and money in the product because of this. Nothing will change. The WWE right now is riding a tremendous wave. Did the wave tamper off a bit for a couple months? Yes. Then we felt like we got that wave back with Ron Killings. Then we get Raw last night. We get Goldberg. Everybody's screaming at the top of the lungs, this is horrible. Why? Yada, yada, yada. Nobody's happy about it. I agree with you about the rhyme, the reason, and the logic. I despise lack of logic in wrestling. I get it, it's wrestling. I get it, it's sports entertainment. I understand creative license and creative liberty sometimes where we need a little bit of wiggle room. This is not wiggle room. The guy comes back and he gets in Gunther's face. The segment ends. And approximately less than 10 minutes later, we get a graphic and the match has been made.
Yep.
So last night, Nick Aldis filled in for Adam Pearce.
Yes.
So we had a fill-in GM. The fill-in GM is probably just there because Adam Pearce needed a sick day. Something going on at home.
Substitute teacher.
We had a substitute teacher. This substitute teacher allowed Goldberg to just show up and tell the world heavyweight champion that he was next. And then all of a sudden, this match miraculously is made. Who made the match? Why did they make the match? What's the logic behind them saying yes? Did Nick Aldis approve this? I'm going to take you back a couple of months ago to a press conference in which Triple H stated he did not want to insult the intelligence of the WWE Universe. Storyline like this, to me, is insulting because it's just ramming something down your fan base's throat and just expecting them to consume it.
All right.
Shout out Bubba Ray Dudley.
All right. So
2-time Hall of Famer.
So I'm sure you were very upset about this. as
Suck that
much as much wrestling fans were because of what we're actually getting. So I'll let you go ahead, give your thoughts.
I mean, who am I to argue with Bubba Ray? Look, I am not the Goldberg hater that has been associated with this show for the majority of his existence. Goldberg having his retirement match that he has deserved off his career. Let's go. Deserves it. Him versus Gunther. Boom. Gunther's excuse my language, he's a fucking stud. Signed with WWE for how long? Majority of that time as a champion. Gunther versus Goldberg, 1, doesn't need a championship on the line. 2, okay, you want to be stupid and say it needs it? Okay. Bully, a.k.a. Bubba Ray Dudley, one after the greatest tag team, goes on to explain how, okay, well, Nick, what was with that? And it wasn't the first time. They have, substitute teacher. Nick Aldis is there. But how about, why not like Goldberg say, I want? And how about he go behind this? He goes backstage and then like he runs into Triple H, says, I want this match. I want this match. Like how is he, this senior citizen MF, just able to just walk back and say, yo, I want a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And Dave LaGreca goes on and he points out something great. And he says, Goldberg has had, I think
5
recent
and lost 4.
matches, and they're all championship matches.
I
could be wrong. I think they are.
Most of them are. I'll say you're right because the last one I recall him.
Unless you're talking about a Royal Rumble.
No, he had a match with Ziggler at SummerSlam 19. But I think the last
but who won that? Who won that?
Goldberg.
Well, so what's that? The one of the 5 he's won?
No, the one that he won was his match with the Fiend.
Exactly. So that's
for the title.
So maybe that's proven that stat that everything.
5.
Yeah, exactly. That all 4 out of 5 of his last World Championship matches. Either way. Sorry, I'm making ruckus.
Yeah, so I have a topic about this a little bit later, but this is like in my mind, I'm like, this might be Triple H giving TKO the finger. Because this is like very Vince-esque. But Triple H,
he's giving him a hug.
For Triple H to make the decision to make this match for the heavyweight championship of the world. Because one, nobody's going to care even more than it's for the heavyweight championship of the world. Now, me personally, that segment with Gunther and Goldberg last year was awesome. I came on this show and I raved about it. I enjoyed it. But that's all I needed. I didn't need Gunther versus Goldberg. Because Goldberg.
Nah, you got to get the match. You got to get the match.
Goldberg is limping down the damn ramp to get to the damn ring. I'm like, what? I'm like, fam, you just got here.
So here's the thing. So like Gunther's response, him reposted, says, "Sure." He's like, "I'm next. Sure, I can spare 3 minutes." That's gangster.
Yeah. So
let's get this over with.
Now I'm sure Gunther will make it entertaining, but it's just like really, like for real for the world title, like really. And I just talked about the whole Universal title thing. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't think they would do this, but what if he wins? I don't think it'll happen. But what if he actually wins? Because we said the same thing about the Fiend. But I don't think it's going to happen. But it's just like really? And it's just at the expense of Jey Uso. I don't want to say it came out of. I don't want to say the title loss came out of nowhere. I'm not mad about title loss. I'm mad about what we're getting, and if this is the exact reason why Jey lost the title to get a match for Bill Goldberg.
Do you think now? Again, I like to argue that I'm a bigger Jey Uso fan than you, but do you think this would mean it would be less of an issue if he had a better IC title reign?
No, I feel the same way.
His IC title reign I'd argue, like, I get it. He won it at 41. He did this and that. To me, that IC title win is still bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger because like he was well, Grant. I'll say yes because that was his first title win. It felt like a bigger moment.
Singles title for either of the Uso brothers, we never thought would ever happen.
Yeah, but then and like I talked about when I gave my thoughts on WrestleMania, the match it didn't live up to my expectation. The ending was extremely flat because nobody anticipated Gunther tapping out to that sleeper hold. Like there was no anticipation. Like there was not like Gunther like showing any kind of forms of
frog splashing. But wait, could this be?
There was no like fighting the sleeper hold. There was no like him trying to escape for a long period of time. So it was like really anticlimactic. But the IC title win, I think, is a bigger moment for Jey Uso than was.
So I firmly
title
believe
match.
It's rough because we're talking just shy of 50 days, I believe. I may be off by my numbers. Listeners, correct it in the comments. But, 50 days as a world heavyweight champion, and he defended it twice. This is his third defense. He loses it. He defended it twice, and one of those two times he retained it by DQ. So he successfully retained it once. Where I think with the IC title, I think he had one defense, kept it, and then boom, lost it back to due to the new bloodline. He dropped it back to Braun Breaker. So, but again, like that moment, I think again WrestleMania, obviously night one, start of the show of WrestleMania 41. That's huge, but I do think if he had a better IC title